No CME, no EMP, no cyber attack has ever hit this country yet. And so it is terribly challenging to muster the political will, the financial and the political capital, the media attention to change the law and fix ourselves.
Hello, YouTube. My name is Drew. Peace and salutations. So, that was easy. China. China's looking to take our system down. This Vortex Spark 2, Vortex 3x magnifier, marry together, run it to the side if you're inside. How nice. God. Other than that, just doing some cleaning here. China is posturing at letting an EMP off over our country. So that means that nothing will run that is electronic based if they do so. It means you need to be prepared. I am already prepared because of a solar mass coronal ejection is what the natural occurrence that can happen and has happened in the last few hundred years to America that can cause an EMP, an electromagnetic pulse, but also a nuclear blast. I think it's 30 miles above ground, I believe. It's a certain amount of miles, feet above ground. It doesn't hit the ground. It spreads out from there and covers the United States if let off over Kansas. So China has capabilities of doing so. Most likely not able to do so, but they're still saying that they can. So what this means for you, my people, as preppers, vehicles that are pre-1982 will survive such a blast. They also sell systems that the government uses, that they use on their Humvees in case of an EMP, so it'll still operate. It costs $400. You can go look it up yourself, figure it out. Why don't you? Faraday cages. A metal trash can that's sealed is a Faraday cage. Sealed aluminum foil is a Faraday cage. Or you can spend thousands of dollars on Faraday cages online. Those will protect small items or big items depending on how large a cage you're able to afford, and they will operate. But who are you going to be talking to, right? So here's the real thing. Have a plan set up with your friends and family of non-communication movement. If all communication shuts down, vehicles shut off, everyone's car's not working. It's going to take you 18 hours to walk to my home from here. Let's add another 12 for difficulties, needing to camp out, needing to take it slow, blah, 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 blah. So do all of those things now, because your time is short and China's time is on their time. So even if it's not China, coronal mass ejection is a natural occurrence that can happen that takes out a section of the earth at a time, given on what portion of the earth is facing the sun when it erupts. It's a massive solar flare that comes off the sun. Whew. That was a mouthful. Well, hope you guys do something or have done stuff, and you know, I think I'm going to put this up on my YouTube in specific. Don't know what to call it, really. I don't even know. I'm just saying it. I'm just saying it to you. So take care. Keep it real. Bye.
So, China. You know, I want to talk about China for a second. China has been planning a EMP, electromagnetic pulse type of attack, which you know, an electromagnetic pulse attack will, you know, it will disable or kill or destroy all, you know, electronics around the vicinity of the blast. So, you know, what they've been saying is, you know, one of these types of attacks will, you know, hurt the U.S. particularly because the U.S. is such a high power, and it's such an advanced type of country to where we use computers for everything in this country. You know, we do. our power grids are connected to computers, you know. Our banking systems are connected to computers, you know. It's, you know, China is saying that, you know, any type of they said specifically a Pearl Harbor style cyber attack would hurt us greatly. And, you know, they're not lying. You know, they're not lying. Anything like that will, you know, destroy us. And they also were saying that they have seen, you know, China, Russia, Iran and other, you know, terrorist groups have watched how we reacted to the coronavirus pandemic and how slow we were to, you know, mitigate that. So they, you know, they're watching, you know, they're watching, and then they also are watching the civil unrest that we having right now with the, you know, the George Floyd situation. They're watching that, you know, they're watching the riots and everything, and they mentioned that, you know, they were saying that, you know, with the U.S., you know, with the riots that's going on and the racial, you know, tensions that the country has, they have they call it a cold civil war. They said that this is proof that democracy does not work. And, you know, people like Kim Jong-un was saying, like, you know, that, you know, one day the U.S. will be taken over and, you know, and just introduced to a full dictatorship. You know, that's what they were saying. Like, you know, the democracy ain't working, obviously, because, you know, they doing all this fighting in the country. So, you know, that's a vulnerability to, you know, of the U.S. And, you know, China was saying this back in 1996. You know, their generals, you know, released articles out saying that, you know, electromagnetic pulses will, you know, they can attach those to their nuclear arms without the nuclear effect, without the nuclear bomb. They can attach the EMPs to those missiles, and they, you know, they can ignite them or explode them in our atmosphere right above us, and knock out our power grid, you know. And man, if we get our power knocked out, bro, we are done. You know what I mean? We are done. I mean, we can't, without electricity, we can't do nothing, no communications or anything like that. And China was also saying that, you know, they plan on using these types of attacks on our carriers, our you know, Navy carriers, because they're all those ships are ran by, you know, if we can't you know, access our computers on those ships, or, you know, use our you know, just our electronics. If we can't use our electronics, we can't see nothing. Doppler radar, all that stuff is gone. You know, when the electronics are gone. You know, so the U.S., you know, we've been following this, you know, since 1996. So, you know, we've been preparing, but, you know, there's nothing being said about, you know, where we are right now as far as a defense for this. You know, of course they're not going to say anything because, you know, it's a national issue. You know, you don't want nobody to know what you plan on doing to mitigate a EMP attack or anything like that. So they haven't said anything about it. So we wouldn't hear about, you know, what the U.S. plans to do to fight this. But, you know, other countries are watching what's going on, and they see that we are weak as you know, civil. We got civil weakness. We too preoccupied with color and you know, it's color, position, hierarchies. You know, we're so concerned about that makes us very vulnerable, you know, to attacks like that. You know, if they set off an EMP and you know, get rid of all our communications, man, we done. How can we be able to know what's going on? You know, I'm sure the military got, you know, some remote things that you know, I'm sure they got technology to mitigate that they're not telling us. Like I said before, they probably got things, because they're constantly working. And as much money as we spend on our military, man, we should have spaceships. You know what I mean? We should have spaceships. But yeah, China's been planning this attack, and they call it like a Pearl Harbor type attack, like, you know, like a cyber attack. Those are the new weapons of this new age. You know, no more missiles and you know, conventional missiles and bullets and all that. No, it's about hacking, because China just hacked a massive hack, and they just did. They are believed to be behind a massive cyber attack in Australia, where they, you know, a massive cyber attack where they took control of their computers and they hacked them. And you know, that's, you know, they're preparing to do that to us, you know, any day now. You know, the word is getting out now and people are becoming more aware, but you know, we're very vulnerable. You know what I mean? They're not lying. You know, they see and they're watching. You know, all our enemies are watching what's going on. And the more we bicker and the more we fight over here, and you know what I'm saying, and have all these disagreements, you know, we left and right in this country and all that right there. Like, we disagree too much. And other countries are watching, and they are planning an attack, you know. I hope it doesn't happen, but you know, countries are in competition. They're big businesses, you know. At the end of the day, the U.S. is a business, Russia is a business, China is a business, North Korea is a business, and business take over the competition. That's how business works.